What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Alright, so we are going to continue our coverage over Night Terrors. Now remember, Night Terrors is DC's current event of the summer, the big hoo-wah event. Now with that being said though, when it comes to Night Terrors, it's all about the idea that right now, there's a new bad guy out there known as Insomnia, who's looking for something called the Nightmare Stone. Now for him to be able to actually find the Nightmare Stone, he has to jump around between different people's nightmares to hopefully find it in someone's nightmare. And so what he did was he put the entire world to sleep. Now with him actually doing that, it made it easier for him to jump around between different people's nightmares. Now with all that being said, the main storyline is really more about heroes trying to find a way to actually stop him. But when it comes to the tie-ins were used as a way to explore different people's nightmares. What are your favorite superheroes' fears? What are Batman fears, Superman fears, or even Wonder Woman? And so with all that being said, those tie-ins were made for those reasons right there. Except for Zatanna. When it came to Zatanna, we have to remember that she's one of the characters that was not affected by Insomnia's powers. She was not put to sleep at all. And the reason why, because she used a magical spell to protect herself so that she would not fall asleep. But the question is now, what's going to happen to her? Is she actually going to survive this entire event, or will she sit on the sideline? And so the tie-ins kind of give us the idea of what is Zatanna doing currently in the middle of the Night Terrors event. What can she actually do? And so that is the moment where we actually pick up with Red Tornado first. Now, the reason why, because this is DC trying to tell us or give us a better picture of what's actually happening right now when it comes to the Night Terrors event. And what I mean by that is we're going to see which heroes are out there right now who are unaffected by what Insomnia did to the entire world. Now we already know what happened with Zatanna, but when it comes to Red Tornado, it's a tad bit different. And the reason why, because Red Tornado is actually an android. It would make sense that a magical or some kind of power from Insomnia would not affect him at all, because he is an android. And so right now, he's still able to actually help protect the world. And he's trying to figure out what happened to the world, because he was not there when Insomnia was talking to Batman, or he was not there when our heroes found Dr. Destiny. Either way, he does get a call from Zatanna, and when he does, it's Zatanna saying, hey, listen, I need your help. But before he's able to actually answer her request, that is the moment we see that something actually happens to him. Now, before we're actually able to see what happened to Red Tornado, we have to jump over to Zatanna. Now, right now, we see Zatanna facing against some very powerful creatures that work for Insomnia. And their names are the Sleepless Knights. Yes, that is their names. Either way, right now, they are technically attacking Zatanna to get to Wonder Woman and Detective Chimp, and to get to her as well, because again, they're looking for the Nightmare Stone for their master, Insomnia, and so they're trying to see if she knows where the Nightmare Stone is actually at. Now, right now, she's trying to hold up a force field around her, Wonder Woman, and Detective Chimp, because if that force field fails, well, of course, these Sleepless Knights are going to be able to actually kill her and kill off her friends as well, just for looking for the Nightmare Stone. And so she realized she has to get her friends out of here and somewhere safe before they're all killed off by these creatures. And so that is the moment she used another magical spell as a way to call in some kind of reinforcement. But then we come to find out who was actually brought to Zatanna thanks to her spell. And we come to find out it is Robotman. Now, Robotman actually belongs to Doom Patrol, and when it comes to Doom Patrol, they are technically a group of characters that a lot of fans truly love a lot, but when it comes to the heroes in DC Comics, they cannot stand Doom Patrol, but especially Zatanna. And the reason why, because when it comes to Zatanna, Doom Patrol is technically responsible for the death of her father back in the early days of Doom Patrol. Now, when it comes to Robotman though, Robotman is actually someone who was involved in a very serious accident, a NASCAR accident, where his body was totally wrecked, but his brain was put inside a robot. And so voila, you have Robotman. That's all you need to know. Either way though, when it comes to Robotman, he realized that right now, Zatanna needs some help because she's fighting against some powerful creatures. Now, what she wants to do is that she wants to move the bodies of Wonder Woman and Detective Chimp somewhere safe. And so she tells Robotman, listen, on that bookshelf, there is a book. Take it off and a secret passage will open up. Once it does, get the bodies and go in there. I'll be following you very soon, but we have to move now. And so you do have Robotman actually being able to do that. He gets the bodies and he leaves. Now, right before Zatanna is able to close the door behind her, she knows she has to keep these creatures busy because if she don't, well, of course, they're going to follow her very easily. And so what she does is that she does conjure up a very powerful creature as a way to keep the Sleepless Knights busy long enough so that her and Robotman will be able to get away. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to this creature that she had conjured up, unfortunately, even though it is a very powerful creature, that creature did not stand a chance against the Sleepless Knights. But of course, it did give her some time to hopefully begin to get far away from them. Now we come to find out that apparently behind the bookshelf is another maze. Yes, I say another maze because we just covered Night Terror's Wonder Woman and her team right now are in a maze. And so it's kind of funny that Zatanna's team is also right now stuck in a maze. Either way, apparently there's some kind of panic room at the end of the maze and they have to go through the maze to just get there to hopefully put the bodies of Diana and also Detective Chimp in there so that they'll be protected while they go through their nightmares. Now, while you have Zatanna and Robotman working their way through the maze to hopefully find this panic room, it gives them time to actually talk. Now, there is something I do want to mention is that when it comes to Doom Patrol, even though they are technically responsible for the death of her father, Robotman is not. And the reason why, because Robotman was not there when her father died. He came after that moment. And so even though he is technically innocent, when she looks at him in a negative way. Because again, he's part of Doom Patrol, and the original group was responsible for the death of her father. Either way right now, they kind of do work through their differences, but except that is the moment their fears come to life. Of course, their nightmares come to life. And even though they're not right now asleep and fighting their nightmares in their heads, their nightmares are still here right now thanks to the Sleepless Knights. And of course, when it comes to their nightmares or their fears, they have to face people that had died around them. So, of course, close family and friends. But of course, at first, they do have a hard time actually dealing with these fears, dealing with these zombie-like creatures that look like family and friends of theirs who have been gone for a while. And so you do have Robotman and Zatanna just switch. So you have Robotman deal with Zatanna's fears while you have Zatanna deal with Robotman's fears. And so it's kind of a quick way to wrap up this situation right here. And once they do, they're actually able to reach the panic room and put Diana and Detective Chimp inside the panic room. Now, once you do have Zatanna and Robotman wanting to celebrate because they were technically able to get Diana and Detective Chimp into the panic room and they think everything is going to be okay now, well, that is the moment Robotman gets stabbed. Now, at first, you would be worried someone got stabbed, but Robotman is a robot, and to him he's like, listen, you may have stabbed me, but I'm still alive. Ooh, you stabbed me, I'm okay. But then he realized he's beginning to change, because that is the moment you have one of the Sleepless Knights begin to change him into something new, something different, and to have him join the Sleepless Knights and turning him into a new kind of creature. And of course, they're calling him the Rust Bringer. Either way, he's now being used to technically go and capture Zatanna. And so this ends today's comic book video with us wondering what's going to happen in the second chapter when it comes to Night Terror's Zatanna number 2. Either way, this is where we're going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, I'll see y'all next time. Later.